What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Diamond District. Uh, as soon as I woke up this morning, after getting things ready for my girlfriend to go to work, I sat down and I officially enrolled into my architecture classes. And once I kind of shared the news with my girl, it really dawned on us both, like, oh shit, you said you were gonna do this. Literally, and then within the next 2-3 weeks, you're doing it. You're in school, you're an architecture student. I'm officially an architecture student, quite literally. And I am in college, literally. And it's kind of blowing my mind as I'm saying it, because these were just conversations. This was years of thinking about this. This was not even thinking, wishing and fantasizing. Specifically those two things. These conversations were wishing and fantasizing. And the fact that I kept my word and I just shot my shot and followed through with it to see where it's gonna go. Like, even right now, I have no idea what the financial aid situation is gonna be. I have no idea what the payment situation is gonna be. Like, I'm really unsure. And I am obviously going to reach out to financial aid and get more information and things of that nature, but it's really not even the point. You know, if I had focused so much time and energy just trying to figure things out and plan accordingly, this really wouldn't have happened. And I mean, it's happening. I'm actually in college as an architecture student. And it's it's almost unbelievable, not because of the fact that I did it, but the transition from saying I'm gonna check this out to I'm doing it. And that's how it needs to be. That's how you need to approach all situations, all dreams, all circumstances. When you say you're gonna do something, you need to do it. And because of this, my girlfriend is having conversations I haven't heard her have in quite some time regarding her going back to school and finishing to get a degree and things of that nature. So because my partner is watching me actively keep my word, actively strive for something, actively show up, I see it sparking things in her. And when I tell other people about it, I'm going to see the same thing where they're going to be like, oh shit, you're really doing it. And it's going to spark something within them. And keeping your word is not just important for you, it's important for everybody around you, because you become an example. You show people that what they say they're going to do is possible. What they say they're going to do is possible. Every single time that I had quit smoking weed, the people around me were always kind of shocked by it, because they were like, damn, you were just able to put it down like that. You must have some really strong willpower. And truth be told, I don't know if it's a matter of willpower, because it got harder each time trying to quit. But I think it's just more so that I already knew what was on the other side of not quitting. So me needing to quit was necessary. This was the first time where it wasn't like I needed to quit. This is where I wanted to quit. And that's why, moving forward for the rest of my life, I don't see myself smoking weed. And that's important, how you see yourself. How you visually see yourself, because before, my issue was whether I was smoking weed or not, I always saw myself as a pothead. So when I wasn't smoking weed, I just saw myself as a pothead not smoking weed. And if you see yourself as a pothead, then that's what you're going to be, and that's what you're going to do. So how you see yourself, what you're saying, your word, these things are so important. And once they become aligned, the world just kind of changes for you. I had a really, really rough night last night, and it was more so dealing with the reality of a specific situation that I didn't have an immediate answer to. And in a way, it really lowered my vibration. I barely slept. And you know, waking up this morning, being in that headspace, I still remember the commitment that I made to make sure I got this done. And I just finished dropping my girl off at the train or whatever. And as soon as I walk in, I'm shooting this video because I made a commitment to every single day I'm gonna do this vlog. Every single day I'm gonna get a little bit better at what I'm working on. I'm gonna learn a bit more. I'm going to improve. I'm gonna make sure I stay on top of my health. As soon as I stopped smoking weed, I got enough energy to really start like cooking. Now I'm really the main cooker of the household. And you know, nobody really saw that coming. And the crazy part is I'm actually really good at cooking. I'm not trying to like go all over the place, but my whole thing is that the moment you start to keep your own word, a whole new lane emerges from the world. I think Jordan Peterson had this really amazing description of how like when your mind is focused on something, it just warps everything around the universe to start to come together for you to make your way. And even when you feel like you're getting pushback, these are not real, it's not real pushback. What's really happening is that the universe, the world, your life, your subconscious, whatever the fuck you want to call it, God, is giving you a situation for you to go through so you can get better, to get to where you want to go. And that's not even how you got to look at it. That's what it is. That's really what it is. And when I had reached the breaking point of realizing that if I don't stop these behaviors, I'm going to be a bum for the rest of my life. And even worse, my girlfriend is going to be with the bum because, you know, she doesn't want to leave me. And which makes her so incredibly loyal. But loyalty also comes at a cost because you are essentially hitching your wagon to the person you're loyal to. So if you're loyal to a self-destructive person, you're going to be put in a lot of bad situations. If you're loyal to an addict, a junkie, someone who is not stable, you're going to deal with so many crazy situations. And as a person who was aware, I really saw that. I'm like, damn, I have this amazing person in my life, and whatever I do on the positive note, this is going to affect her, and whatever I do on the negative note is going to affect her. And me just really getting my shit together, tightening up, being consistent, focusing up, I started to see how that was affecting her as well. Where it's just like, you know, it encouraged her to like randomly work out as well, or randomly pick up a book as well. Or it's like these little things that I just started to notice just from me doing what I was doing. And this is the effect that you have on the people around you. And when you start to record and document and share the things that you're doing, this is the effect that you're going to have on the world. And this is the effect I hope I'm having on you if you're watching this. At the very first video that I made, I said that I am not where I want to be, but I certainly intend to get there. And this moment of like enrolling into architecture school, I'm really going to really enjoy it because it's not even about the end result. It's the fact that like I changed a fantasy into a reality with a snap of a finger because I said I was going to do it and I did it. I said I was going to do it and I did it. And then it's happening. It's here. I'm an actual architect student. I'm an architecture student. And after like going through like my curriculum, I really only have to take 20 classes to get a bachelor's degree in architecture because I already went to community college for something else entirely. So it's just like this fantasy is now so fucking tangible that I'm able to break it into components for me to get to the other side of it. Because before it was just like, man, I don't know, it'd be nice. And if you're saying things like that, you're talking about a fantasy. But I assure you, it's not even that difficult to turn a fantasy into reality. It's not. The bigger the fantasy, once you turn it into reality, yeah, there's gonna be steps. But Those steps are tangible things that you can actually do to make a fantasy into a goal. And once you like cross that fucking threshold, once you make progress on it, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so uplifting. Like right now, I am both in a great place and a conflicted place, because at the same time, I'm also thinking of everything that I need to do, not just for architecture school, but outside of that. Like, once I realized that I've been in my own way in making money, which I literally realized that like 2 days ago, now it's like also pivoting my approach towards like making beats, not just making beats, but like how I'm operating in a sense of needing to make beats, but needing to create the funnel and everything else needed to make sure that I'm outreaching artists. I am uploading my thing. I'm building a consistent aesthetic. I am doing all these other things, because not knowing, like, either I was just skirting around what needed to be done as far as like the business end or the brand building end, or I was just so worried about how I would be received and perceived and stuff like that, that I just wouldn't bother for certain things, because the fear of rejection, in me, the fear of rejection was disguised as a fear of perfectionism. Not a fear of perfectionism, but a desire for perfectionism, because I felt, and there's a part of me that still feels like in order for you to be accepted, in order for something to work out, in order for you to become what you want to become, you got to be perfect. And you don't. And you don't. Whatever concept you have about being perfect in whatever it is that you do, just know that what's really happening is you're moving the bar. The bar for you to give yourself permission to say, like, I did it. The bar for you to say that you're happy. The bar for you to say that you're ready to start dating. The bar for you to say you're ready to put yourself out there. You keep moving it. You keep moving it, because if you don't move it, then you'll actually have to go out there and do it and deal with the reality of possibly being rejected. And honestly, throughout the whole collegiate process, that was a genuine fear of mine. Like, okay, like what if I get all the way to the point where it's just like I have to realize it's not going to work? And I'm still kind of concerned about that to a degree, but at the same time, it's like, because I'm in the action of doing this shit, how I feel is kind of irrelevant. It's more of like, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do? What I am going to do is I'm going to explore all the options that I have to me and come to the best solution. And that's really all you can do when you're moving forward. Because when you're staying still and you're looking at what you want to do, you're trying to find all these different ways and avenues to accomplish your goal, but you never really know what you need to do until you're in it. Just like Mike Tyson would say, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's really what it's like working with life. Like, you can come up with 18 different incredible plans and opportunities and situations that you can get into, but until you're in them, you don't really know what it's going to take. You don't really know what's really required. You don't really, like, the reality of a situation is never quite what you think it is. Alex Hormozi, I'll be fucking his last name up bad, but I'll just say Alex. If you don't know who that is, just type in Alex H and the bearded bralette guy is gonna pop up. And he essentially kind of talks about, like, whenever you get into a business or you get into a venture or you get into anything, you think it's gonna be hard, and the truth is it's way harder than you think it's gonna be. And sometimes that is the case, other times it's not. But in both situations, your mind is making it way bigger than what it needs to be, when all you gotta do really is cross that fucking threshold and really get into it. Really get your hands dirty. Really get your feet in the mud and start actually, like, trying. Not fuck trying. Trying is such an interesting word, because trying is almost like suspended animation. You're not going up and you're not going down, so you're not really doing much of anything. But to shoot your shot. I love that phrase because it's just like, it's not indicative of an end result. It's specifically focused on an action that may or may not have the desired consequence. And that's really how you have to approach life. You have to go through life shooting your shot. You have to go through life doing external actions, hoping that it's going to get the end result. And if it doesn't, then try again. Try again and adjust. Try from a different angle, try from a different method, but don't be stubborn. That was also one of my biggest flaws, which I'm still working on, is just the sense of stubbornness. Like, I don't want to do that shit. Why should I do that shit? And in a lot of those cases, it's like my stubbornness would either come from feeling like I don't have to do that. That's corny. I don't like it. That seems like a lot of work. And it's like a lot of times it'll be the whole it's a lot of work thing that'll just kind of put me off of a idea, concept, or strategy. But one of the reasons why I had always really wanted to go into architecture school is because I believe that the work will work on you. And I believe that going through a journey is a transformative process. And I felt that by going into architecture school, I would be putting myself in situations that I generally don't feel ready or prepared for, and I'm scared and concerned about. But I felt like on the other side of those things, I would end up becoming the type of person that I knew I needed to become to get specific results. And maybe architecture school wasn't necessarily what I needed specifically, but simply the process of shooting my shot. Just simply like making these videos regardless of what's gonna happen, uploading beats regardless of what's gonna happen, realizing that I am doing these things, but I'm not actually creating a way for myself to make money. Now I'm studying like, okay, what do I really need to do to really get this fucking bread with making beats? And then once that gets settled, and then on the back end, a situation with my friend's clothing line and my clothing line really just like settles in itself, because that step is almost done. Now it's really just on a complete focus on just getting to it. Like we're not playing around, we're not skirting around. There's no fluff. It's just straight. Like, what do we have now? Okay, let's go. Because nothing is a success right away. Nothing is a success right away. And to me, that's actually a benefit, because that gives you time to build something up to be what you want it to be. When you just focus on your presentation and all these other things, all of these perfectionistic habits, just so your thing can be received the way you want it to receive, that's understandable. But once you put it out there, unless you have a massive audience, an incredible following, any of those things, like all of the work you did just kind of happened in a quiet corner and nobody's gonna know. But if you're someone who, like me, I don't have a big audience. I don't have a audience at the moment. I'm building it slowly, brick by brick, video by video, post by post. Eventually I'm gonna have to go on my Instagram and tweak that, and I've already made a checklist for it. And then like on Friday, I'm gonna set up like my BeatStar profile. That's a online platform for people to sell music and stuff. So all these different things that I'm saying that are happening and doing it, this is different from the past, where I would always talk about all these different things that I was working on. But these things were just work. They were working with, there was a desired result, but it was more of a fantasy, because there was no thorough thought process on how to go from creative endeavor to cash. You understand? There was no real thought process on creative effort to cash. It was the thought process was the creative effort would bring in the cash. The creative effort would bring in the cash. That was really the thought process. But the whole point is, it's just like that was so nonsensical of us. That was so nonsensical of me. Because I'm seeing people who are not doing anything creative. They're not doing much, but their thing is for sale. And because of that, they're able to get paid for it right away. So it's simply just taking that approach of just like, stop delaying, stop waiting for everything to be right, just stop. Do it like literally and build as you're doing it. That might seem like, oh, that's like trying to change a wheel on a car while driving. No, it's not. The reason it's not because you need that external feedback for you to get better. What is the point of perfecting something for people to receive it, but you don't know what people want because they haven't told you what they want from you based on the product you haven't released? You know what I mean? That's really how it works. So really just to kind of sum up everything into a neat little bow, be a person of your word, because by being a person of your word, the people who look around and see what you're doing, you're going to inspire them to go up and go do some shit as well. And that actually is going to make the world a better place. If there were more people who kept their word and inspire others, then there will be more people who kept their word and inspire others. And that would literally raise the vibration of the entire planet. And if that were to actually be achieved in some shape, way, or form, I don't know where the human race would be, but it'll definitely be in a better place. Am I going to make the human race into where it should be? I don't know. And to be honest, I'm not really concerned about that, but I'm more concerned about helping you, if you're watching this video, keep your word and become a better person and become the person that you should have always been, or become the person that you've always dreamed of becoming. Because the only difference between the person you dream of becoming and the person you are is that you just haven't done the consistent actions or steps yet. So it's not even really a fantasy. But until you really lock into reality and what is required of you, then that's what is really going to stay. So keep your word, because it's going to change you and everything around you. I understand that you're afraid of putting yourself out there. I'm also still afraid, and I'm also still concerned. And I'm also still dealing with the fear of rejection and the fear of this not working out. The fear that I'm essentially recording into a camera that nobody's going to take the time to watch. And that is okay, because courage and bravery only exist in the presence of fear. So this is me doing my best to be brave or being courageous and moving with faith, because I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this: being consistent and showing up does so much more for you than just thinking about it. And then lastly, if you are not getting the results you want out of life, it typically means you're not doing something that life requires you to do to get those results. And it's as simple as that. And when I think about the amount of time that I've spent doing everything else but what I specifically needed to do, like the most important behaviors that I needed to do, those are the ones I weren't doing. I was doing supportive behaviors. I was doing fundamental behaviors. I was doing everything but the real stuff I needed to do, which was put myself out there, share the things that I had to offer. By sharing the things that I had to offer, also put a price point on the things that I have to offer. And then create a system for people to be able to get the things that I have to offer from me. Now, I really want to say that before the end of the year is over, I'm going to be making profit from music, from clothing. I don't know if there's a third thing. Maybe. Who knows? Might be crypto. But hopefully before the year is over, I'm getting money 3 different ways. One of them I can't necessarily control, but 2 of them I can. I can control how many outreaches that I do. I can control how much content that I post. I can control so many different things regarding that. And regarding the clothing, I can simply decide to say, you know what? I don't need another product. I need to release product. I need to promote this product. Just don't waste your time. Just don't. It's so easy to do it. But I just want you to know that if you keep your word and you follow through with what you said you're going to do, everything changes. But you do it consistently, nothing will ever be the same. Sending you love.